This is Welcome to Andrew's Podcast. My name is Jamal. As you come in the building, please hit that like button so that we can get more people through here. Okay, share the love, share the live. Okay, I know you heard that before, so I need y'all to do that. Tonight I have two very special guests. I was supposed to interview them way back. Oh, I'm sorry, that double sound. I don't want to hear that. I was supposed to interview them way back in February, but you know, work or whatever. I couldn't make it down to the event. They had an event at the Andrews Library. They'll talk a little bit more about what that was about back then, and what they've been doing up to this point. And but we're going to get to that now. I want to remind you guys that we are still in the 21 days of prayer. Okay, and so make sure you check this out on Facebook Live. 21 Days of Prayer Intervention, October 3rd through the 23rd. As a matter of fact, my guest tonight, he is on this in this group of great men right here that's offering a word of prayer over the town of Andrews, Mr. Jeremiah CUMBEE. But we'll get to him in a second. Let me edit the privacy on this thing here. Yeah. Facebook plays these games with me to where that was only going up to me. But there we go. All right. But again, 21 Days of Prayer. All right. And this is headed by my homeboy, Mr. Michael Shackelford. Y'all make sure y'all tune in. The beautiful thing about this, if you miss it live, you can always go back and replay it. Okay. So y'all make sure y'all go over there, share that out anytime you see it come on live. Yeah. All right. Again, tonight I got two. It's a couple, and they are authors. All right, and they wrote this book, and the name of that book is called Black Eyelids, Etched in Gold. Now, off the top, that title is interesting. So I can't wait to get into the the meaning behind it, and just like unpack the whole process of doing a book. So let me tell you a little bit about this book, right? Black Eyelids, Etched in Gold. Let me put it on the screen while I read this part here. All right. Black Eyelids, Etched in Gold is an electrifying collection of poetry which expresses the art of awakening the spirit. Black Eyelids, Etched in Gold represents a movement of free speech tethered to a culture of explosive and energetic youth that demands to be heard. The inner energy that is dying to be released in this book will enlighten and elevate your mind in an everyday world. Whether you're dealing with an abusive nature or too much pride or ego, your own spiritual journey while reclaiming your inner power, the power is your godly purpose, which requires trusting his process and allowing God to use you for his will and not your own. I implore you, and I'm going to implore you guys also, because there's a link in the description box where you can go, and the link that I'm providing, this book is on sale. Okay, I'm just gonna say it's on sale for the Welcome to Energy podcast, which I know that's not necessarily the truth, but you can get that book on sale tonight. I'm talking about a real sale, like a Black Friday sale almost, right? And so hit that link and go and purchase this book. All right. Let me finish here. I implore you to get lost in the spiritual journey, for it will help you to understand why Black Eyelids, Etched in Gold was created, to elevate and to illuminate you. All right, and a little bit about the authors. Okay, it's a couple. It's the Cumbees. Um, I see his name right here, but I know him as Jeremiah. Okay, so I'm gonna call him Pastor Jeremiah Cumbee. Was born and raised in Georgetown, South Carolina. He is a retired combat military veteran who was injured in the line of duty. So, sir, salute you for your service before we get on here. Since then, he's gone on to do many fundraising programs to help children and widows in his community. He's fighting each day to keep a positive outlook on life while dealing with the stigma of being a veteran. He wrote this book as a treasure to help him escape from the chaos of the world. He received many honors to include Wounded Warrior of the Year. He is the son of the late Reverend Felton Cumbee and Eliza Cumbee. And Mrs. Cumbee, Mrs. Ashlyn Cumbee, was born and raised in Mobile, Alabama. She is currently an educator who has a passion for instructing children in a manner which maximizes their opportunity to reach their infinite potential. She has a background in psychology, curriculum development, and biblical exposition. She is the daughter of Dolores Johnson and Harold Miles. Ashlyn and Cedric are married and have 5 children. Kimandi, y'all gonna have to correct me on this. Ariana, Noah, Alyssa, and Saria. I'm sure I said that wrong, but without further ado, let me see if I got the right. Yeah, let's bring the Cumbees up. Good evening. How are you guys doing? Welcome to Andrews, the podcast.
Wonderful.
Hello.
Hold on. Okay. All right. I'm sorry. There. I can hear you now.
Okay.
How you guys doing this evening?
Good. What about you?
Doing good. I really appreciate you guys for sitting down, taking the time to talk with me here. Let's see how we're gonna do. First of all, introduce yourselves. Did I butcher the kids' names? Please, first, let's clean that up first.
Man, you did. You butchered it. You butchered it up pretty bad, but that's okay. That's okay. It's okay. Soraya. Elise. Kiamundi. Noah. Ariana.
And then
okay.
Kamari.
And Kamari.
All right. So when y'all watch this, y'all please take it with love, right?
It's okay.
All right. But yeah, go ahead. Give us tell us about yourselves real fast before we get into this interview part of this.
I'm gonna let her go first because y'all mostly know me.
Okay. I think you already got a little glimpse into my background when you read my bio. That's about it. I'm in education. I love working with kids. I think that the youth is important. So that's why we spend a lot of our time and a lot of our energy as a group working with children because they're tomorrow. So
Bingo.
No doubt. So let me ask you this: what inspired you guys to write this book?
Well, I can say he started writing poetry for me a few years back, and I thought it was beautiful. And the crazy thing is, I also wrote poetry growing up. So when he started to write for me, I thought it was beautiful, and it just in time it just kind of evolved to he was writing poems. I started to write again. When he started writing, it made me want to write again. So, and the next thing you know, we were just writing. So we just continued that journey. And one day we just had the idea that maybe we should just put them together.
No doubt. So how long you been writing poetry, Jeremiah?
Man, I was writing poetry off and on almost about all my life because when my sister got married, my baby sister, I wrote a poem for her, Two Lovers Walking in the Night for her wedding. to put on her program, and I wrote a poem for my baby girl Soraya when she was born, talking about a man's blessing. So it was off and on for a while, but when I got injured, that's when I really started really writing.
So what did you guys learn in this process of writing this book?
It's not easy. It's not easy.
Unpack that a little bit.
Because you could think for instance, you can get into this culture of writing, and then you can kind of box yourself off because you're writing basically to a black audience, and then you're ignoring the other races. So therefore, you gotta keep an open mind that I want this poem to hit everybody, not choke it off this way. So therefore, the name Black Eyelids etched in gold. If you got a black diamond is the only diamond that in the color spectrum that can cast out many colors. It can do them all. So that's why we chose the word Black Eyelids etched in gold.
Yeah, that's definitely like I said, I was interested in that. And how did you guys come up with that? Did that kind of just evolve over time, or
no? She graduated from FAMU. That was, she got one of her degrees from FAMU, and just from looking at them on YouTube and listening at them, they played this song by Kanye West, and I heard it a while back, and it was "No One Man Should Have All This Power," and that beat just was hitting, and I said, man, and I said, man, actually, let's just do like Black Eyelids, and she said, well, no, let's do it better than that. She said, then we got telescopes and stuff the way we go look at the stars at night and stuff like that, and we start seeing that black backdrop, all them stars, the galaxy, all them colors coming up on forth. So I said, man, let's just say Black Eyelids etched in gold.
no doubt. And how what was the thinking in the piece? It's a beautiful cover. What was the thinking in that piece?
My first cousin, it was two girls that came in mind. My niece Vanna, and my first cousin Kiala, Kiala Snow, and she got made up one day, and I guess for prom, and I looked at her and I said, man, that's a beautiful black girl. I said, man, let's do something for the young to see that, the young black women to see that they're important, see that they're valued, not just with their clothes off, but with their clothes on. And that's what we choose. We chose a picture that resembled her and Vanna.
So, like, and you say you've been writing poetry for a long time. For somebody that's looking to write a book, I think the biggest challenge may be the workflow. So how did you manage that time wise?
Well, my biggest thing is when to be real with you, and you got me as one of the people one of the ministers or the clergymen that's going to be in the 21 day of prayer, and my biggest thing was out of mind is a devil workshop, and I was blessed with time. I was blessed with a lot of time. So if I wasn't doing something positive with my time, I was doing something negative with my time. So therefore, I started to realize that time is the most valuable thing we got, and a lot of people are running out of time. So therefore, back in elementary and middle school, my dad used to always punish me when I come home, and I had a folder that said Jeremiah doesn't use time wisely. And I didn't want to be 41 years old still not using time wisely. So that was my biggest focal point on it, just to use my time wisely, make every second, minute, hour count.
Absolutely. That's the one thing you cannot get back.
Time.
Time.
They said better yet, they said time is wasted on the youth.
How long did it take you guys to put this book together?
Well, we really took about 4 months, because once we started on it, we were really focused on it. once we really got going and made the decision that we were going to do the book, we focused on it and we tried to work on it every day. So it took about 4 months to choose, because we wrote quite a few of them, and we chose to keep that one, you know, just deciding which ones to keep, but about 4 months in total.
So, all right, and so like the publishing side of it, I know you out of the education background. How did you guys go from the process of, hey, we want to write a book, to now we're presenting it to the publisher? Is it a tough, or is it not so much tough is not a word? Is it a hard process?
Yeah, it's hard because your book got to be appealing, and it can't be like for instance, like they said, some of the greatest pain and some of the best albums, like Lauryn Hill, the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. The reason why that CD and that album was so popular is because she went through so much heartbreak, heartache, and pain. So therefore, she put it all in that album. So the same thing is with me. All the things I went through in life, I put it all in that book. And when you had that first poem, Black Eyelids Etched in Gold, and then you go to the one, The Darker Side of God, and that just for me, especially on Darker Side of God, when I got locked up that time, and I was in that little jail cell, and I was sitting there, and the only thing that was there on that table was a Bible, and the whole time being a pastor's son, I knew right from wrong, but at the end of the day, now I'm in this little box to where this Bible is right there with me, and I'm in this darkness, but God is still there. So I'm figuring inside my heart, I'm on the darker side of God, even though I'm in this darkness, I'm on the darker side of God, because I feel like He still loves me, but at the same time, I'm dealing with so much. I'm dealing with PTSD, I'm dealing with anxiety, I'm dealing with nightmares, I'm dealing with all these things that's stacking up to make me say, man, I gotta have a break, man. I gotta get me a season, man. I gotta get me. And I know a bunch of these Dallas Cowboy people gonna hate me for saying this, but I ain't want to be like them Dallas Cowboy where every season is my season, and it don't turn out that way.
That's rough, man, because they got roughed up yesterday by the 49ers.
And that's my homeboy BB, man. He went out and got his pontoon boat painted Dallas Cowboys color and everything. And every year he called me and said, "This off season." So I didn't want to be one of them. I want to have a winning season. I want to be the one that said, "Man, I'm actually grabbing ground now. I'm coming out of what I put myself in. I ain't putting this off of nobody else. I put myself in that."
No doubt. Hey, listen, I'm sitting in with the Cumbees. You see it on the screen right there. Black Eyelids Etched in Gold. Please go. There's a link in the description box. Box over there. Go over there and click on that. That's the Amazon. There, it's on sale right now. So go over there and pick up this book. Go over there and pick up this book and leave a review. All right, y'all make sure y'all do that. Okay. Hey, so let me ask you this: are you guys did you self-publish, or you went through the traditional route? Getting your book published.
No, we actually went through a publishing company, and that publishing company is kind of like, man, you got to get an agent, and you got to get everybody to speak on your behalf, and you got to really get a lawyer to look at the numbers.
Well, wait a minute. So I just can't show up there with a bunch of papers and just say I'm gonna put a book together.
You can try it.
You can try it. I mean, you
can try it. I don't know how it's gonna go.
But 9 times out of 10, you're gonna get ripped off. You're gonna get ripped off if you do that, because there's so much
What just and I don't want you to unpack it all, but what are some of the things that surprised you in this process? You were like, oh, I didn't know I had to do that.
The kickback.
What do you mean the kickback?
The kickback. You'll get like 50, maybe 50, 60 copies free. You get that free. Mm-hmm. But after every book that you think that you're gonna get free after that, no, you don't get that. No, you're going to purchase your own book, at a discounted price.
Mhm.
And that income don't come into you because they discounted you up off the books you selected to buy. So
See,
if
I'm
I
already
select,
confused.
so if I select to buy 60 more books, and they say,
Mhm.
okay, 60 more books, and these 60 books was going to go at 1,000. Nah, I ain't going to take them at 1,000. I'm gonna give it to you for 500. Therefore, when you pay that 500 to them, they keep that 500 because now that's theirs. They just done gave you the discounted front to you for your book.
All right. Hey, listen. So everybody's telling me I'm echoing. You guys got me through like a Bluetooth. That's what they're hearing.
Mm,
Yep,
no,
that's what they're hearing.
let me check.
Yeah, because I think I'm hearing the echo. Uh,
Try it now.
Mic check. There we go.
You good?
Bingo. Sorry about that, y'all.
Uh,
I
all
do
right,
apologize, but we let's get this up here.
all right. Back to what I was saying is you they really gonna discount you your book.
Uh-huh.
They taking your money off of that and they selling you your book at a lower price, and that don't go as books sold. That goes out to the author. So you
And
get what I'm
so
saying?
when you say books sold, they track this, like, and I
Yeah.
guess that's how you end up on the bestseller list.
Bango, bango. And
Okay.
I'll give you one thing. The reason why they had to take the Bible off of the book selling
Because it was
club.
always the bestseller.
Yeah, it's always their bestseller. So they say we can't talk the Bible. So,
No, not the topic.
so they had to take it
Uh,
off.
no doubt, no doubt. Again, yeah, I apologize about the echoing and all that good stuff. So I'll tell you what we're gonna kind of do is kind of do a little recap so that um but no, I mean we don't have to recap really nothing. We could just kind of keep going through what we're doing. But I'm fascinated by this, and I think a lot of people are fascinated by the process because I mean, who don't want to write a book? You know what I mean? I think it's a great way to leave a legacy. You know?
Well, the thing about it is what fascinated me the most is because um you had King David and he was this bad warrior. I mean, he was known for being this bad warrior. But at one time in his life, he put down the sword and he put down the shield and he picked up the pen and he went up this hill and he started writing Psalm 23. And even though he died way back then, how many people you know still today quoting Psalms 23?
I do it all the time.
Thank you. So that lets you know the pen is mightier than the sword. I had to switch up.
Mm,
I had to switch up my mind and my heart because my mind and my heart was on rage time. And anytime you're on rage time, you're gonna be a destroyer. You ain't gonna be no builder. And if you're destroying your community, you can't have a voice in it. And there's a lot of people that does that. They'll destroy their community rather not sacrificing their time, not sacrificing their mistakes and giving the kids what they need to know. Everybody ain't had no pleasant life, and that's what Black Eyelids Etched in Gold let you know that I had to go through something to write those poems, for you can understand where I'm coming from.
so listen, would you guys share one of the poems with us real fast?
Sure. As a matter of fact, he wrote one entitled Rage.
Yeah.
All right, and listen, I'm gonna move off the stage so you guys rock out with it right here.
So I would love to read that one. If that's okay with you.
Okay.
Okay, Rage. Hand pressed, rocking, creaks, sounds. Boards taking pressure from above and underneath, there is no ground. Orphaned, ripped from my planet, and I don't know who is around. Darkness, chains, people packed like sardines in a can. This can't be where I'm headed. This can't be. Many men, many women, many children stacked to the top. Is this a ship or a sea building? Homeland, secure land, my land, brotherland, sisterland, motherland. I can't see no more. How can you rip me from something, from one seashore to another seashore? Set up my core, replace it with something else, made me forget about where I came from, and then stripped me of my wealth. You stripped me even of my health. I'm on the front step like your morning milk. You on top of me, wearing me out like silk. You pressed me from the day that you brought me to your seashore till 2020. Now the police have a new type of force. How can the ship sounds with them creaks and them cracks is the same identical sound of that whip and that strap. It's the same identical sound as the handcuffs and that gap. Now you want to know why my people fear. Do you really want to know why my people fear? It's the sound of how we came from where we were to where we are at. How we joke and share good laughter, but when the sirens come, we feel out of sorts and even flustered. You said march in peace, we did that. How can you march in peace when we stood in peace for so long on a ship that took us from where we were to where we're at, stripped us from our own pride? We are orphans inside. We came into a country that said, now you have a newfound American pride. Put your fist down, put the chains up, scream, Black Lives Matter, and yet time isn't up. It's still ticking, and it's that same oppression. Slave ship from homeland to mental depression. Dying from broken hearts, from being ripped apart from a country that my eyes never gazed on because of that old ship that sailed across the sea. The cracks and the crumbles of the pressure of what's beneath. Many drowned on this voyage, so stay vigilant and remember age has you inside of it, and if you are inside of age, then you will understand why the youth feel rage.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
that poem right there, that hit hard for me, man, early in my life because I wrote that poem right there probably when I was like 19 to 20 overseas. And man, people don't know my story, man. And I had got in some trouble. And when I got into trouble, the military told me, we can take care of that. You got to go overseas for us, though. And if you don't go over there, we can lock you up for life if we want to. And not only did I went overseas, but I went overseas and I got a field grade demotion. And no promotion. I got a demotion in 6 months without pay. 6 months without pay in a combat environment. So I'm over there fighting and I ain't even getting paid. I ain't even getting paid for 6 months. My homeboys from 1052nd, a lot of them, man, you can ask them the story and they'll tell you the truth. And them boys told me them 6 months. I mean, from helping me send money to my dad and stuff like that. And at the same time, I'm young, and the people that saw me grow up automatically had already put over my head ain't gonna be nothing. So yeah, I'm in a war-torn country with that in my mind. And not only that, I already got 2 little girls back in the state. They're on an lease, and you know, some people write you off because they think you got they think you ain't gonna be nothing. You're gonna be on poor status, but mentally I ain't been never poor. I was always thinking of a plan, or always rich at heart. So therefore, while I'm in this war-torn country, my vision is getting back home to not just my dad, but to my girls, and and seeing, man, I'm gonna tell you right now, once the eye see something, it can't unsee what it saw. No matter what you do in life, your eyes will not unsee what they saw. And a lot of that stuff you can't forget, but the pen helps. The pen takes you to a place to where you write something so beautiful like Rage, and then later on you go back and read it and say, man, boy, I let my trauma out. I let it out.
And at the time when you find yourself in these where you battling with this rage? I mean, is it just like you go to a place in your mind, you're like, all right, I need to write something down. I need to
Yeah,
get this out of me.
yeah. Wrong, but like, man, you can ask her at 3 in the morning, 4 or 5 or 6 in the morning, and she could tell you I got about like 6 pads around me, and I'm writing and I'm writing, and she just, man, that's what I tell you. My wife, my biggest supporter. That's why I never let her out to the public, because um, Tupac said the rose that grew through the concrete. It wasn't because the rose it had a crack in the concrete. It was the tenacity of the rose. The rose wanted to come up. So if the rose want to come up, why not protect that rose that growing in that unfamiliar place? That what I done with my wife. I'm saying you can get to know me. You can say anything about Jeremiah, but hey, you don't know my wife. You can guess what she's doing. You can guess what she is. You can guess this and that, but you don't know her. So at the end of the day, I knew her at midnight and in the morning time when I'm sitting there and I'm writing and she's saying, "Go write it." I'll go back and do the spell check. I'll put it in correct sentences. You just flow. Just write. Encouragement. That's all she was doing, encouraging me the whole time. And like I tell you, man, we as black people, man, we gotta learn, not just black people, white people, Mexican, we gotta learn to release this trauma, man. This trauma, man, trauma will eat you up.
I heard this guy that I listen to a lot, and he said, you could be there's two ways you could become we're all going to experience pain,
Mm,
and you could become wise from it, or you could become wounded from it.
man, I've been both.
Okay.
Cause boy, when you
And
get wounded, boy, them four walls don't play, boy. Them four walls come and
and
talk to you, and them four walls tell you some stuff, boy. You be like, boy, let me get this over with, boy. Cause
and
man,
that's that part of the woundedness
yeah,
of it, is that it you know
ain't
you
gonna
could
tell you
carry it. There
ain't
you
telling
go.
you nothing beautiful. Ain't telling you, hey Jeremiah, you look lovely today. No, it ain't doing that. You dummy. You sitting there, oh, here we go. You always been that. You always been like that. Nobody like you. Look at you. You alone. Stuff like that. Stuff like that. Look at your mama don't want to talk to you. Your daddy dead and gone. I mean, they hitting you with some hard hitting things.
No doubt. All right, y'all guys, y'all see it? Y'all see them on the screen right here? I got this beautiful couple right here in front of us, the Cumbees. They have a book, and that book on the screen right now is called Black Eyelids Etched in Gold. And you can go over to Amazon and find it right now. Not only Amazon, tell us some other places where we can find this book.
You can also find it on Walmart.com, Barnes and Nobles. So it's really easy for you to get it. The good thing about the deal we did is it's really widely available.
Gotcha.
Yeah. That's what going back to that deal. That
Mhm.
deal, they're gonna ask you, do you want to do it by region or you want to do it worldwide? Now, by region is just going to be demographic and where you want to put it out at. But worldwide, they're gonna push it everywhere. The book made it to Africa, and we ain't even been to Africa yet.
That's what's up, man.
We got sales in Africa, man, and that was one of my biggest things in life is the go back to the motherland and see it. And now I can say that the book that we publish and we put out is over there.
And can you guys talk a little bit about the process of getting a book deal? How just kind of some of the things that a person needs to have, some of the ducks they need to consider having in a row.
Okay.
All right. Well, one of the first things we did was I went around and kind of shopped around and called around and asked. I wanted to know exactly what did they want in a book of poetry. So whatever it is you're publishing, whatever it is you have in mind, it's a good thing to find out what the industry norm is for that kind of book. So when I told them that we were writing poetry, they told me like how many poems should be in
Mm,
it, how
Mm,
to
yeah.
keep it fastened to a certain kind of genre. So if you whatever it is you're doing, you should start by doing your research to see exactly what it is that they want. And then after you figure out exactly what they want, you may want to look around and search and find out, find the fit to see who is interested in what you are doing, because everybody's not interested in poetry. No. Everybody's not interested in mystery novels. So whatever it is you're doing, you first have to find out what they want and who's interested in it. And once you find out those things, then you can kind of go from there.
Does the publishing company, do they handle marketing and all this stuff, or is that on you guys?
They do. They handle some marketing, but of course, as with everything else, as you start adding things on, if you want to do anything different, you have to you know, there's different things you have to start thinking about. So they may start off with a certain thing. They will do this. They'll contact certain news outlets in your area. But if you want something more, you want something different,
it's gonna cost you. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, some things we're thinking about. Yeah.
The big thing is they'll come to you with 3 different packages. Because you're gonna ask my wife, they got a team too now. They got an NFL team too. But these
what's the name of the publisher you guys published this book through?
We went through Dorrance Publishing.
Dorrance.
Okay. Now
we was trying to get it with Colin Kaepernick publishing group, because he got a publishing group also. And then the other guy off of the Seahawks, he got one. He just he does children's book. And I know there's just a quick shout out. I know that Kimberly Means, she got I think 3 or 4 books out there. One of them is Under the Steel Magnolia, and that's like a children's book. And she's another person you'll want to talk to about, because she also knows the ropes too. Because like I said, she got 3 or 4 books out, so therefore she'll know the process better than us. We just happen to get our foot wet in it to know that they'll come to you with a platinum package.
Well, you did more than get your foot wet in it. You completed the process. You got a book that's out there, dude. Like, I ain't got no books in Africa. Matter of fact, ain't nobody listening to this podcast in Africa. But don't try to diminish yourself. No, that's big. Hold on, man. Hold on. Let me put some respect on that for y'all real fast, man. Let's drop a bomb on that.
And
that's what's up, man. That
like I said, they'll come with 3 packages. A platinum package, meaning worldwide. You give up, you suspend income off your book for about 2 years. That means whatever your book does, if they take this book to a bestseller, you ain't getting none of that.
But it's the deal means that it's all basically you putting it back into that book.
Bingo. And really the first book is to set up the second book.
Yeah.
The first book is saying, hey, I can write. This is my talent. This is what I'm gonna do. And then they'll come and then they'll start giving you this advance for the second book.
Okay. Now you're talking my language. I gotta get my first book first though.
Yeah, that first book gotta show them this. See, because a lot of people want to like my daughter Soraya, she said she want to be an actress, right? And I said, Soraya, why you want to be an actress? And she said, oh, I want to do this and do this. And I said, but Hollywood writers get the most money.
That's where the money's at.
That's the money, right? And see, people didn't know Dave Chappelle went to Juilliard for his writing. He went for his writing ability. And that what Hollywood wanted him for by itself. They didn't want him for his comedy. They wanted him for his how he was able to write and compose stories.
They want that brain.
Yeah, they wanted that brain because he was always fascinated by certain things. Man, look at a point. Like I tell people, if you want to sit down, you want to hear something fascinating, go read Edgar Allan Poe poem. The Raven's Knocking at Your Door. And that poem right there alone is a heavy hitter. Where it said nevermore, nevermore, nevermore. And it's a repetitive style of writing where it's like a comedy with a comedian. He do a 5 or a 5-3 or 5-4 scheme. That means I'm gonna throw this joke out there and I'm gonna tell this joke at 1. Then I'm gonna tell another different joke. Then I'm gonna come back at 2, bring that same first joke back in. But then at 3, I'm gonna carry it way up there and keep talking. And then I'm gonna down 2 back in it and bring it back to 1. Then I'm gonna throw it back out again and keep doing it. And that's all called the boomerang effect. And then by the time the show is about over, I'm gonna end with this same joke on 5.
And you get comedians that, bro, that get on stage and never study that,
Yeah,
I'm sitting there fascinated the fact that you could spit it like that, because that's the
well,
science behind it.
that's the same thing that, like I told Ashley in my ministry, that I want to be different, because I sit and I listen to arts music, because I need to listen to what the young kids are listening to in order to combat that. Because if you telling your black brothers and sisters to pick up a gun and pick up a gat and go shoot this girl for no reason, or go shoot this guy for no reason, and they saying low key slangs in it, and you don't know the slang, then you ain't effective. Because at the end of the day, you supposed to know what you fighting against.
And
You supposed to know that.
that's well said. That's very
And
well said.
yeah,
Very
and
well said.
that's one thing the Sony industry is now giving that type of rap style more incentives to push their music,
Hmm.
to bring that up, and more revenue, because ops music are hitting right now. You don't see nobody saying, "Man, I'm about to write some gangster poetry."
Nope.
You don't see that. I'm about to write some ops poetry. No, you don't see that. And once you understand that, then you understand about their scheme. Their scheme is always on the one. It's always, no matter what, I bring it back to one. If the beat goes this way and goes that way, there's a rip, and then on that rip and that intertwine, I'm gonna bring it back to one. That one is always that snare. So even down to a musician, you had a musician saying 1, 2, 3, 4, 1.
Hmm.
It's always starting back on one. So everything got rhythm. Poetry got rhythm. Comedy got rhythm. Country music got rhythm, rap got rhythm, jazz got rhythm, everything got rhythm. It just, can you feel it?
And can you feel it? And has it been turned against you?
Yeah. Now, if it turned against you, now you ain't gonna feel it.
You know.
You
So
just,
you mentioned the ministry. First of all, congratulations on you had a trial sermon a while back. Tell
yeah.
us about your ministry, and you were also telling me something that you guys got something really big coming up with with Pastor Gibson,
Well, Dr. Gibson,
Dr. Gibson, excuse me.
man, Dr. Gibson, man. I'll tell you one thing about him is that um, he took a chance on me. I mean, because at the end of the day, even when I had all this good stuff going on in my life, and even when I had I had opportunities to do different things. I mean, certain people held me to this stereotype that that's Jeremiah. He'll shoot you, he'll stab you, he'll cut you. But man, I ain't had a traffic ticket in over 10 years, and I'll sit back sometime and I say, man, the myth of Jeremiah is like, even my wife said, she said, man, it's like you a fairy tale around here, and my life is rather boring, because I get up, and the thing about that, I get up and I find different locations to write at.
Mm.
I love writing in Charleston, because Charleston sits on the 33rd parallel,
Oh,
and it's just
you're going deep, Jeremiah. You're going deep. You're going deep now. You're going deep. But I'm gonna
and,
let you go ahead. I'm with you. I'm just letting everybody know. Hold on. Come on. Go ahead, Jeremiah.
and it's just something about me writing in the holy city, man. It's just that when I get to the Battery Park, man, it's like, man, the ancestors wake up inside of me, because people don't know, in South Carolina, the biggest mass suicide happened in Charleston County, right there in Charleston, South Carolina, when when the first 3 slave ships landed. The Igbo tribe turned around, grabbed their chains, and they walked into the water. They walked into the water. About 500 to 600 slaves willingly died, because they understood what oppression looked like, and they turned around and walked in the water. Even when they were trying to drag them out, they just continually walking in the water, drowning themselves, because they know they wasn't built for that. So therefore, me, I'm a I'm a spiritual person without a doubt. The way I feel, like the ancestors can guide your hand to what they
Yeah.
want to say, and if they want to speak, they can speak, because the Bible even tell you the dead knows what the living is doing. The living don't know what the dead is doing. So therefore, you can be in touch and in tune with your ancestor, and I mean that just you paying homage to them. You paying homage to them being the bridge that got you here. And Dr. Gibson is one of those ones that I don't want to sound like he's an idol, but I want to say that he put a down payment on me, and that was to the heart, because everybody had me rolled off as Jeremiah the crazy one. Don't talk to him. Don't man. He troublemaker, man. He does this. He does that. And this man sat me down and said, "All right, let me hear you." And I started talking, and he said, "Man, you got something there. Now let's work." And I told him, "Man, I want to dedicate a year. I want to dedicate a year to apprenticing you. I want to be an apprentice to you, so I can show you that I'm serious. And if in this year, if I mess up one time in this whole 365 days, if you have one thing about me, then you got the chance to end it." And here I am. I'm still here. And we went on through with it. And the thing about it is, the shooting in Texas was where God's salvation showed up for me, because I was a gun advocate. I had guns all through my house, and as I saw that intruder in that school take his time and shoot each one of them kids, and you can hear the gunshot, I thought about my little girl. And when I thought about my little girl, I started thinking about everything I've been through overseas, and I thought about all the devastation over there, man. You know, it's enough fighting, man. Enough is enough, man. Man, my eyes ain't built to see that much damage and that much destruction, man. My eyes ain't built for that, man. I want to see some meadows and some green grass and some cornfields. I want to see that, man. I done been through enough hell, man. Let me taste my heaven. I want to taste my heaven, man. I can't have a losing season every year. Yeah, I gotta have a winning season. That just was my whole motto. And I told that to him, and he said, "Well, guess what? I'm gonna give you that chance." And man, when he did that, man, I just promised God I won't fail. I won't fumble the ball on this one. Because at the end of the day, I don't care who you think God is, but I know who God is, because he allowed me to know myself. And this year has been so good to me. I told my wife I had to up my insurance, man, because I said, man, it feels like I'm about to leave here. I mean, dude, you talking about a winning season. I'm talking about everything is good for me. The book came out, the trial sermon. My daughter Kamari came forth, and I was able to come to grips with that. At the same time, I was able to finally let my dad go, because I was carrying him for 14 years in my heart, because I wasn't ready to say goodbye to him. That's still that trauma. PTSD, I had to learn to put forth a praise and try to serve God at every time I can, because it was my own demise if I go the other way. And it just was a blessing, man, that Dr. Gibson helped me do that and showed me the ropes of how salvation looked like and how grace looked like. It was good for me to get that inner peace.
No doubt. I'm right here with the Cumbees. They are the authors of this book you see on the screen right here, Black Eyelids, Etched in Gold. You can find it at Walmart.com, Barnes and Nobles, wherever you find books, you can find this book. I encourage you to go out right now and purchase it. I seen on the screen right there. I wanted to bring that up earlier, man. One of your so we call them shipmates on the in the Navy.
Who that?
But Tyron Green, he said, "Good to see my brother Cumbee." He said we were stationed together at Fort Gordon.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Green. That what I won the Wounded Warrior award at Fort Gordon.
Okay,
In fact,
gotcha.
Tyron was with me. He was with me when we went to my wife's school that she was at, Dale Chase Elementary, and gave over 725 kids Christmas.
That's what's up, man. So
And the
yeah,
thing,
tell us about that. Some of the what are some of the organizations that you got coming up, like events you got coming up? And you didn't mention the anniversary, not the anniversary,
yeah,
but what?
the
Okay,
anniversary with Dr. Gibson gonna be on November the 4th at 4 o'clock, and we have tickets still on sale for $25, and it's gonna be at the Winsburg County Recreation Department on the Thurgood Marshall Avenue. And the thing about that is 53 years he was on the battlefield for 53 years, the spiritual battlefield. And you got to understand that PTSD exists on every battlefield. It just don't exist on the physical battlefield. It also exists on that spiritual battlefield. It's a lot of people walking around that has been spiritually wounded, and they need their Purple Heart, but they don't know how to put in their paperwork to get it. And that's one thing I can tell you right now. If you know somebody that's been on that battlefield spiritually, praying for you, and not just praying for you, but being a mentor to you, you should bless them with something. I mean, one thing I love to do is give my flowers while they're alive. I don't want to be that person that run into the casket and trying to jump in it because I know that guilt eating me up.
That's right.
I want to give it to them while they're alive because I want to be able to let them know what they done for me. And doing this for me is like taking a chance the way he said, okay, I'm allow you to know thyself again. And knowing thyself is everything, because you got to remember Jesus went to John the Baptist to get baptized. And when I went to Pastor Gibson, man, he baptized my wife. And then he told me to come on in the water with him because, hey, that's just a spiritual, memorabilia going on here. I'm going to give you this to let you see the importance of what's going on. Because at the end of the day, I was one of them ones that were chastising the faith. I was one of them ones that was saying, man, how can I go through all this and God doing this to me? Man, God did this to me. No. I had to take responsibility and accountability for what I done. I done this to Jeremiah. God didn't did this. God didn't drop down Jeremiah's body and say, okay, go out there and start sinning. No, my chance and my choice. I gotta own it.
No doubt. What's the date on this anniversary?
November 4th. It's
November
November
4th.
4th.
All
And
right, and
November
that's
4th at 4 o'clock. And like I said again, it's at the Recreation Department on Thurgood Marshall. And
where could we find tickets at?
you can inbox me to get the tickets for 25. And I gotta say this one more time because my dialect, I ain't mess with it. It's an ancestor quality about me that I don't mess with and tamper with that speech pediment that I got, because that's Gullah Geechee and I respect them people. And I love them. And since I've been going to Charleston and getting with Sister Free on Reedmont Road, she's sponsoring a African trip back to Zimbabwe. And she was telling me, no, don't change that. Don't change that. That's your history. That's your heritage. Everybody else switching their language up to say, hey, man, my name is Bill. I'm all out for it. No, that ain't me. That ain't me. I'd rather be the raw cut stone that the master got to put on the cutting wheel to put into that ring. I'd rather be that.
And so now you see why this book of poetry is like, because this Jeremiah. But that just shows the diversity of character.
Yeah, because you gotta remember too now. You gotta remember too. We come from ancestors that knew how to survive.
Mm-hmm.
The field slave also had to know the pains of the house slave. The house slave had to know how to feed the field slave. And we went on through history where they give us chitlin, and we cooked them suckers so good that now they're sitting down and eating at the table. They getting a bowl of hog moth. So you give me the guts, I can show you how to cook chitlin. And that's what I'm saying. So that survival skill kicked in to where you can see that even to the day, when we got that statue of Black Moses, Harriet Tubman, she had a survival about herself that man, I don't care. My friend Algeron, he always used to say this, and he said, you can't beat a can. And I said, man, what are you talking about? Can't beat a can. Every time I talk to you, talking about you can't beat a can. You can't beat a can. He said, a country a nigga. And it was funny. I said, well, you got a point there. You ain't beating us. You can't beat us because we stay with our idea. We stay with something to keep the thing moving positive. And if you ain't moving positive, then you tearing down. You're in a building. You're a destroyer.
Absolutely, man. I I went in the Rice Museum in Georgetown for the first time. And I was down there and I saw where they were busloads of people were coming in, and it just made me say, man, we need to get that history together in Andrews, and
Yep.
those are some valuable dollars that we're missing out on.
Yeah. And one thing about it is what people don't know about Big Dam, we got the third largest plantation in South Carolina, which is Mount Pleasant Plantation, which is no more than 3 to 4 miles down the road from us. They
Absolutely.
have,
No, I said absolutely.
yeah, and they have a slave graveyard out there. Mr. Frank McClary, the mayor, Frank McClary, his dad, he actually caretakes it and overshadow 5,700 something acres. So therefore, just to go down there and walk through, you can connect back to them. Man, sometimes, and I'm just gonna say this because somebody need to hear this. Sometimes when you're on a rough road and you feel like your life ain't measuring up, sometimes you need to go to a plantation and you need to walk by them slave graveyards or that slave grave, and you need to see the opportunity that you're squandering that this slave wished it had.
So true.
And you just got a bunch of black kids just throwing it away, man. And that was one thing where rage been wrote by, because I got pissed off and saying, man, I did 3 years of my life overseas, and these jokers cutting school. They won't go to school. I did 3 years of my life overseas, and these jokers getting PTSD at home. In Andrews, getting PTSD. And if they ain't getting PTSD, they giving somebody mama PTSD. Man, it was a universal law in the 80s and the 90s that we did not touch. Your mama was off limits. Kids was off limits. But now, lawless.
No doubt. Just so Jeremiah, where could we find you? What church are you preaching in? Can you go ahead and shout your church out?
Well, it's how I feel how Dr. Gibson used me, but I go to Cedar Grove Missionary Baptist Church. It's down there on Tad Road. It's right before Tad Road. You can Google it; it'll take you straight to it. Anytime I'm speaking, you can get up with Mona Lisa, Anderson, and who else? I guess. Yeah, anybody really that goes to that church, and they'll tell you. Even Octavius Willis, he'll tell you. I've been overseas with him too, Octavius Willis, too, and he'll tell you, man, it ain't nothing about me that is 6:15 on 12 o'clock, straight up and down. I done had enough because, man, I'm trying to punch that winning ticket for eternal life, and if I gotta write 1,000,000 books, my kids gonna be able to read that book and say, man, my great grandfather was on something way back then.
So it sounds like you guys are working on your next book, or you already got that in the works.
Man, we got the next 4 lineup. So it's the next.
Oh wow, that's what's up.
The next one is gonna be Black Eyelids and Friends. So the next one is Black Eyelids and Friends.
So basically, you're is it going to be like a series? Is like a continuation of Black Eyelids etched in gold, or is going to be something?
Well,
you know what I mean,
this one right here that's coming is going to be Black Eyelids etched in gold with friends like Kiala Snow. She wrote a poem. It's going to be in there.
I understand.
So we bring it along. We trying to educate the youth to look at you like when I think it was Baraka or was that Biden, they used the little young black girl that wrote that poem. Biden, they used that little young black girl for her poem. And the thing about she got encouraged at a young age to do something different. Don't, man, people, we used to think in scared school when we used to hear that thing say dare to be different. We used to say, man, that's so corny. But actually actually dare to be different, man. I mean, because
and yes, and I'm go Go ahead. Go ahead.
Some of these kids got some beautiful poems. Oh man, man, I can't tell you everything, but boy, when you sit down and read some of these kids' poems, you're gonna be shocked that that poem came from the kid it came from, because they just put their, I mean, it's like they blanked out and put their feelings on that pad and went to work. And the book after that is a children's book coming from her, dealing with crystals, healing crystals like for your chakras, but it called what's the the title of that one?
Stay tuned for that one. Stay tuned on that one.
And, and then it's another book that I'm coming on with is for my dad, the autobiography of Felton Cumbee. So it'll be his book coming next on my side, the tell you about his life and how I had to, and me and my brother Pat, we sat down and I look at all his awards, and one award that he had is that he jumped out, he was airborne and he jumped, he made 23 hostile jump over Vietnam. So I'm sitting here and I'm glorifying Sylvester Stallone as Rambo, and my old man was Rambo the whole time.
Hey man, that's what. Listen, there's a Purple Heart recipient right there in West Andrews, and I didn't know. You know what I
We
mean?
overlook.
But
Overlook.
and he doesn't.
No, they ain't gonna tell you. They won't
No,
tell you. That one thing I learned
no,
from veterans.
no.
They will not tell you their story.
Yeah,
You
that's
got they got to trust you first.
Yeah.
And once they open up and they tell you the reason why they stay to themselves and by themselves and alone, man, that joke will break your heart, man. And a lot of them, man, the worst thing in life is to walk by a casket full of regrets. Man, when you walk by that casket, man, you can feel so much sorrow because they want it best for them. They wanted the best for them. But being young, ambiguous, and trying to get away from home, they signed that dotted line and didn't read that fine writing at the bottom that said you swore to defend this country, foreign and domestic. Man, when they young kids, if you don't believe that is real, I'm telling you right now, you better second guess it. You better, man, better go to Job Corps Wyotech, because once the eye see it, it can't unsee what it saw. I'm trying to tell you.
That is definitely the truth. Again, guys, I am here with the Cumbees. Y'all make sure y'all go over to Amazon, go over to Walmart.com and find this book. There it is right there. Black Eyelids Etched in Gold. I'm trying to load this video, man, because I got an idea. I met this gentleman, and he's interested in coming to, and oh man, when I play this video, you guys are at that point, you can kind of take it from there and help me, you know what I mean, make this together. There go your man Tyron again, man.
Okay.
He said, congratulations and continued success.
Who that? Tyron.
Yep.
Tell Master Green I get in contact with him. I call him Master Sergeant Green.
No doubt. No doubt, man. So let's get this off the screen here real fast. Yeah, I'm trying to get this video loaded, man. So boom, 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 boom.
But I would
go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
I would say this. Where you write at, whether it's going to be what music or poems or whatever, where you write at matters, because you got to understand ley lines. And if you don't understand ley lines, then you don't understand your blockage. And when you don't understand your blockage, then you're going to understand why you got writer's block. You got to get where it's free at. And that's what I told you, that 33rd parallel. You got to get somewhere close to it, because that lines run all the way around this world, and they hit key points on this planet. That's
and what are they give some young writers why, like the why they should be there, like what are some of the benefits that you that you draw from understand
Okay,
having this knowledge?
one of it is for instance, um Andrews, you used to it. And if you used to it, even Jesus couldn't perform miracles at home. You got to move. And once you move, even if it's for a second to go right, that gives your gift chance to come and manifest. Because at the end of the day, even if you sitting there writing, somebody can come and knock you out of your groove and say, "Hey man, hey dummy, what you writing?" Your everything done dropped down to zero because you done let somebody interrupt your time that you're trying to tap into something. And when you can ask her when we go over there, 9 times out of 10 she can go to the mall and I can sit right there on that park bench. And by the time she come back, there's a whole legal notepad full up. Hand it to her, we good to go. And that's just how it is because I know what
How
I'm
how
going there
how
to
did
do.
you come into this? I mean, how did you realize this? How did you understand that about yourself?
Well, like me and Green was at Fort Gordon, and I told this lady, Brenda Lambert, she asked me, Jeremiah, I want to send my son to where you went. How can I send him? I said, man, I hate to say it, but they won't take civilians. They only take Army veterans or Marines or any service member that got hurt. They take them. But the place that I went to was the traumatic, the number one traumatic Army post in the United States, Fort Gordon. That's what me and Green met at. And
Okay.
they have a functional recovery program where they have the top doctors. I mean, if you from Mayo Clinic and you the top doctor in that, they'll fly you in. If you're from India and you the top doctor in neuro, they're gonna fly you in. If you the top doctor in spirituality or herbalist, they're gonna fly you in to tell us where we are hurt at, because they always say mind, body, spirit, soul. You ain't gonna be hurt in all four. You're gonna be strong in one of them. It just gonna take time for them to find out where you're hurt at,
Hmm.
because even if you get in a car accident, yeah, your body got hit, but your spirit got hit too, and it can knock you off. It can knock you off alignment, and if it can knock you off alignment, what you need to do to get back in line. So there's a such thing called zero gravity. And even on the 21 day prayer, there was a pastor that touched on synergy. And that's when I knew that he tapped into something. He was doing deep study, because synergy is the base of that. It's finding out where you're knocked out of line at. And once you
Hmm.
bring yourself back in alignment, then you start tapping into this gift that was always there, but it took a traumatic event to bring it out.
I got a friend that's offering me to go up into this zero gravity um sensory deprivation tank up in
Do
up in
do it.
Greenville.
And I promise you, when you come out, you can ask my wife, when you come out, oh man, when you come out, that's why when people say, oh man, Jeremiah, man, it seemed like he different, he this and that, and he this and that. Man, once you go in that tank and once you come out, man, people say, oh, they clone Tyrone. No, man, there ain't no clone. it ain't it ain't no clone. It's just that you now getting this aspect of somebody is listening to you and not judging you or critiquing you for what you've been through in life. And they're telling you it's okay to hurt. It's okay to be hurt. Don't try to fix things. Don't be too much of a man to say, I want this now. I want to be back me now. No, they're telling you, take a deep breath. Let us get you used to the new you. You ain't gonna never be that old person, but you could be better than that old person, or you could be worse than that old person. The choice is yours. So once you go into that zero, man, that zero gravity, and you sitting in there and you just, man, you just get in a zone, and it just feel like something awakes inside of you, and you come
he
out.
he told me, he said, don't, don't plan to drive back when you come up and you
Bam!
do that.
Ask
Yeah,
my
just
wife. You will not drive back. You will not. No. Actually, I had to stay over, sleep almost the whole day. You'll sleep the whole day. I mean, the whole day you're gonna be asleep. You know what I mean? It's gonna be better. Some of them, see, because people don't even know that. Actually, people should. They don't even know that you're supposed to go to sleep like round about right when the sun getting ready to set. You're supposed to be getting that time right there, because the sun only got that much time to energize itself. So that means night only got that much time to energize you. And you shouldn't have no light in that room, no red light, no cell phone light, no nothing. That room should be dark for you to get into REM sleep. They call it REM sleep because that is where you get your best dreams. That's where you get your best initiative. That's when you can tap in.
That's that rapid eye movement sleep. I learned
Bang,
that at Andrews High.
Bango. You dead on it. You in REM sleep, and that REM sleep can heal you faster. And that's why I tell people, you got to understand that the resurrection happens every night. Jesus resurrected, but he also resurrects inside you every night, because you go and work a 40-hour week. You go and work an 8-hour job every day. But when you get off, you get home, you cook and you do this and you do that. But the minute you close your eyes, something starts to work to refresh you. And scientifically, they can't prove what it is that restores you. Only thing that they can tell you is sleep. But spiritually, something is happening to you that is restoring your energy level to where you wake up in the morning time and say, oh man, that was a good sleep. Or if you toss and turn at night, you're gonna wake up grouchy. And like Pastor Gibson said, you ain't grouchy, that's just the devil rode you behind all night.
No doubt, man. Hey, this is awesome, big man. I've been talking to Jeremiah, man, forever. So I've always known him, and so I know, you know, I've had conversations like this with him, and I'm just glad we're able to share this, man, because we don't consider it a spiritual spot, you know, a church, and you need that, you know what I mean?
Well, some of the best kept secrets stay a secret, because I mean, people minds aren't open to what's best for them. People mind are open to destruction. Like if I go get a gun right now and I go shoot downtown, the first thing they're gonna do is go and share this thing 1,000,000 times. Jeremiah shot downtown. Jeremiah shot downtown. But they won't say that. Okay, share this. Jeremiah and his wife got a book. Share it 1,000,000 times. Share it. No, that don't get it. That don't get it no more. And that's what I'm trying to tell you. That's zero gravity. You wish you can zero gravity the whole world. and bring out the best. But that program I'm telling you about, man, at Eisenhower, Frank McClary, Mayor Frank McClary know about it. I know you know about it. And man, they do some tremendous work there. Me and the late Ramon Guitar, man, God bless his soul, man. He had a chance to go through there and go to the Wounded Warriors program, and Havas Morris, shout out Havas Morris, he had a chance to go through it too, and Mr. Live Life himself, and happened so all of us came out the right way, and you got a couple of people that went through it and steady, they going through it, they went low, and when they went low, they end up suicidal or something like that, man, and it's a gift and a curse. It's a gift and a curse.
All right, so listen, I got this thing loaded right here, man. In my mind, I'm seeing an event, a cultural event. And we're inviting this guy right here. I met him this weekend. So let me, I'm not going, his name is Chef.
I'm Chef BJ Dennis from Charleston, South Carolina. Born and raised in Charleston, currently actually living we call Low Bottom, Okatee, Port Royal area. down there, South Beaufort County. But yeah, I'm born and raised in Charleston. Right now, we in Georgetown County, you know, low country through and through. We in Georgetown, right here on Front Street by the Rice Museum, getting ready for the rice cook-off. I'm one of the MCs today for it, doing a little demo and a little talk on the history of rice. We ain't get into the history of rice right now, because that's a whole nother. I'll be back for that conversation. I'll be back on the podcast for that conversation. But yeah, man, we just here representing the culture, Gullah Geechee culture. I'm a chef, caterer. I cater up and down the coast. Most of my work is in Charleston, but I'm up and down the coast, from Savannah up to Myrtle Beach, catering, personal chef, private chef. But yeah, man, that's pretty much it. You can find me on social media at Chef BJ Dennis on Instagram, mainly on Instagram most of the time. I also got a Facebook business page. But yeah, man, follow me if you want to learn more about the history of rice. We don't think about rice as one of the fabrics that made not just the South, but this country rich during the colonial period, off the knowledge of our ancestors. So we'll get back to that one day, but peace and blessings, y'all.
Boy, that woman done something to him, boy. I'm trying to tell you.
So that's Chef DJ Dennis right there.
Man, we ain't at here hear nothing.
You ain't hear nothing? Oh man,
Nah.
how that ain't work out like that? Hold on a second. How that ain't work out?
I'm Chef BJ Dennis from Charleston, South Carolina. Born and raised in Charleston, currently actually living we call low.
You guys see you don't see that on the screen?
Yeah, we can see it.
Okay, but don't even worry about it. But that's the guy. He did this. I didn't get to see it, but he did a seminar on the history of rice in the area, and
yeah,
you know,
I saw it.
She said she saw it.
Yeah, I saw that.
Okay,
We think what? That's what you said. What do you think?
Yeah, I saw that. It was really nice.
He wants to come to Andrews, man. And I'm thinking we could have a display with the rice. You guys set up over here with the book, kind of walking people through the publishing process or whatever whatever questions they got, getting signed copies, purchasing the book. I think that'll be a good look.
Well, the thing I was saying about it is the rice is because the rice is plant based, so anything that is plant based is life.
Mm-hmm.
So how the way you can't take that life is how the way the rice will react, and that's what he was showing, how the way the people hands and stuff touch the rice and things like that. But it's also down to the water too. Like when you drinking your water, how do you drink it? Do you just guzzle it, or are you speaking into your water as you drink it? Because
unpack that. Don't do that. Don't do that now. You just gonna drop something. This like why is that important? Talk to us.
Well, because you got to remember that Jesus performed a lot of miracles, but his miracles are always about us beside water, because water amplifies something. It always amplifies. One of the biggest miracles he performed when he fed the 5,000, and you got to understand, he had preached to the 5,000 before he fed them, and he preached to them from standing in a boat on water without a microphone. So that means without a microphone, 5,000 people was able to hear him. That's a miracle by itself. That 5,000 people was able to hear him standing in a boat on water. So that lets you know that water has an amplifying effect to hit you, and it can make you rather vibrate, or it could be nutritious to you, but you got to look at it and see it for yourself, that where he tell you, you will not thirst no more, the water I have for you. And that water he has for you is the ever-flowing fountain. The ever-flowing fountain is how you speak. So while you're drinking this water, you can tell the water what to nourish these kidneys, heal his pancreas, replenish me, love, joy, peace, and keep drinking. And if you don't think so, look on YouTube. The thing about it is, all of this stuff I'm telling you, you can look it up. And just don't look up your local pizza joint of Fats and Andrews number. Look up speaking life into your water before you drink it, and the actual fact, the positivity change water has when you speak into it while you're drinking it, because there's
a resonance there, bro. You going deep, man. I follow and I'm like, you got some people head over there right now. But it makes logical sense.
Yeah, it ain't rude. It ain't rude.
No,
Don't.
because there's a vibration coming off of your voice. You and man. Man, listen, we right here with the
So that's why when you really meet somebody that is preferring darkness than light, it ain't for you to judge them and say, man, that's an ignorant person. If you got light, your light should be able to shine into their life and bring them up out of it a little bit, to where if you don't pull them all the way out of light, you can plant a seed of light and it'll grow. If you planting it right. But if you planting it out of envy, hate, or pride, then it ain't gonna grow. So that's the same thing, that if I'm telling you this now and some people taking it in and some people rejecting it, but I can't count the people that rejected. I'm counting the people that took it in. It's all about your perspective on something. Everybody gonna have two sides. That right now they probably have two sides to it right now. Man, Jeremiah look older, man. His wife look older, but they ain't saying that.
Oh, I lost ya. I lost you guys. Jeremiah, somehow come back on there. But all right, guys, I got the Cumbees on there. I'm gonna give them a second here to come back on. I lost the connection over there. And all you got to do, Jeremiah, is just click that link again and come on back in. In the meantime, check out this.
Mayor Frank McClary, a man on a mission, who understood the assignment: town budget, fiscal responsibility, town infrastructure, tackling neglected projects, town independence, making sure its citizens have the final say, town growth, paving the way for future investments. Re-elect Mayor Frank McClary to continue the mission of serving in the best interest of all the people of Andrews.
Yeah. Listen, tomorrow, Real Talk Tuesday, it is going to be a doozy. So please tune in. Real Talk Tuesday. And well, thank you, sir, Mr. Thomas. It will be we'll be back onto the politics and all the craziness and whatever again. You know what I mean? So I look forward to that. Again, let me hang in here and give them a chance to come back on and wrap this up. We were going for a little minute. I don't know if his phone died on him or what happened. But yeah, man, great interview. Very interesting stuff. Very interesting stuff here. Also, this month it is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and it's time to ma'am and glam. All right, and one of these. This is October 14th, October 21st, and October 28th. Too busy to get your mammogram scheduled? Tylen's Health is making it easier than ever to get your mammogram at Ma'am and Glam. Take care of yourself and take care of your annual mammogram at the same time. Appointment is required. To schedule a mammogram, call 843-848-5101. And the times for this to happen is Saturday, October 14th. And this is at Tylen's Georgetown Memorial Hospital, October 21st. That's at 8 a.m. to noon. And this is at Tylen's Health Imaging. And then you got October 28th, Tylen's Health Medical Park. And that's where you can mammogram. Of course, you do need to have you do need to make an appointment. And the appointment where you can schedule those appointments at, the number is 843-848-5101. Number dot. Okay. All right. So not quite sure what happened there again. 21 days of prayer. And to the football players, I don't know if you guys hung up this long, but if you did happen to still be here, one or two of you, let everybody know those pictures are coming out tonight. I took a ton of pictures for the homecoming game, and it's just taking a little longer than normal to process them. So, but they'll be out here tonight. Luckily I started the show a little earlier than normal, and so I was able to get that in. There you go, right there, guys. Go over to Amazon, Black Eyelids Etched in Gold. Order this book. Take a picture of it. Send it to me saying I've ordered it. Let's support our local authors. Okay. Yeah. Again, tomorrow, Real Talk Tuesday, it will be a great one. And I'm going to provide a link so you'll be able to come on board and speak your piece. All right, let me call. I can do that. I can call them. And we can do the rest of this via phone. On the phone, my friend. On the phone. The phone. The telephone. There he is right there. Hold on 1 second, Jeremiah. Hello?
Yeah.
All right. You are on live. I got your voice on there.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, we were getting ready to wrap it up, man. I just want you guys to go ahead and close it out. You know what I mean? Anything you guys wanted to say to close out the show?
Yeah, my own phone had died, man, and
It's all good.
basically what I was saying. What was the last thing you had heard me say?
Don't put me on the spot like that, Jeremiah.
Well, I'll go back. I'll go back a little bit. Basically, the last thing I'd like to say is, man, if you got one life to live, and you don't get no reset, you don't get no do-over. And if you living in a box, you got to judge the size of that box, the depth of that box, and how wide that box is. And if that box is a normal pattern of life where you can count your moves on one hand, then I implore you to get out that box, because that's an uncomfortable position for you to be in for 40 to 30 to 50 to 60 years of your life, to 70 years of your life. You need to get out of it, because at the end of the day, your move's supposed to go past 10. And if your moves are not going past 10, then you ain't living. You're not living.
No doubt, man. There he is, brother Jeremiah CUMBEE. Man, I appreciate you guys. I definitely
man, always appreciate you. Always appreciate you, man.
It's all good, man. Make sure you tune in.
You've always been talking to me from when I was young, man, telling me how to move and why to move this way, and just to keep my head up, and everything gonna work out in the end. And I gotta give big ups to you on that. And I mean, at the end of the day, I know this podcast gonna kick off, and I know you're gonna be a productive person in the community, and not just the community, worldwide, because you got a general care for everything, man. You got care and concern. And my wife right there, I'm gonna let her see what she's gonna say.
Okay.
I just want to thank you guys for the opportunity. We really, truly have enjoyed it. And I just want to encourage everybody to take the time to examine what they're feeling, what they've gone through, and talk through your trauma. Don't try to bury it. Talk through it, because that's when you truly find your healing, and you can really uncover the beauty that God put in all of us.
And Mac, I got to say this. When a man finds his wife, he finds himself a good thing. And you said one thing about my wife. She has her master's degree in biblical exposition. So therefore, I'm not speaking something without going through her first, because that's just the unity of our house. I mean, at the end of the day, She laid the line to go get that. And at the end of the day, if I got to give it to her to proofread and say, double check it, make sure I ain't telling the people no lie or nothing like that, she double checking it. So I got that in my house.
That's a strong couple, man. I listen. I appreciate y'all. I got to get you guys back, man. This got to be kind of a regular thing. We got to, because there is a. I felt tonight with this show, I felt a therapeutic feel to this show. I think that I just,
like I tell people, I'm preaching through trauma.
No doubt.
I'm preaching through trauma. I'm giving you everything that I went through, and as I give it to you, people help me heal, and I help them heal. So that is called unity at its best.
No doubt, man. I appreciate you guys. Like I said, I'll reach out to you. You know what I mean, tomorrow, first thing tomorrow, and yeah, because again, this was you know, I would love you guys to be regular contributors, man. Come
and one more thing, Mac.
Go ahead,
one more thing. Murray Swamp Preserve. Mac helped me clear that preserve out, and hopefully this year we can, while the winter time, we can get it cleaned up and get the picnic tables out there. Hey, we can get everything in place.
Let me know,
and we can get
what I can do to help, man. Let me know, because you know what I mean.
Mac knows what's coming for the future, and it's a preserve for all wildlife. That place that you like to go right and do different things at, because it's beside a creek called Murray Swamp Creek.
No doubt, man. I love taking my pictures. So
okay,
yeah, that's birds and all that other good stuff, man. And that's again, he said Murray Creek Preserve. That's down there. That's off on Tad Road, right?
Yeah,
on Tad Road. Look it up, man. Yeah, I removed some beavers off that property.
Bango.
And so go ahead.
And my wife got a center that is getting ready to come. It's called Essence Family Center. It's for abused and battered women.
That's what's up, man. I got to get on what you guys. We need to do like a big panel with
oh yeah,
the mayor's sister. She has an organization called Black Diamond Princess, and it's something that you said that she says all the time. She's like, you're not going to get back to yourself, but we can get you to a place where you can live with who the new you.
Bingo. Bingo. You can either be the better you or the worse you. Yep. It ain't no in between, but you ain't gonna be back you. I can tell you that now.
All right, but look, man, let me hop off of here. I appreciate you guys. Yeah, we done ran an hour and a half, which is good conversation. That's what it is, man. But again, I'll reach out to you tomorrow, man, and y'all have a blessed night.
You too, Matt. Thanks again, too, man.
Yes, sir.
All right.
So, that is a great show. Glad I was able to get them back on the line and wrap that up. But anyway, tomorrow, Real Talk Tuesday, y'all be tuning in. I am out.